Hi guys, let's go and check out woke male feminist Niall. Is that Gaiman? Cancelled by his own after horrific allegations. I butchered that name completely.
For quite some time, there's been whispers about Neil Gaiman, about the things he's
Gaiman!
done, about certain women coming forward, and a lot of this started a little over
His name is Gaiman and he's not gay?
6 months ago when some people came out, they came
Jokes.
forward and they said what had happened to them with Neil Gaiman. Now, in the immediate aftermath of that, you did see a couple projects get kind of canceled. Even Disney canceled a project with Neil Gaiman because some of the details were pretty insidious and pretty disgusting. And on top of that, for the last several
Wow.
years, it seemed like a lot of people in the industry have heard very similar things about self-proclaimed feminist woke ideologue Neil Gaiman.
It's a way to hide behind the shameful thing that you did. Like, if you are a self-proclaimed feminist, who can actually judge you? Who can question you?
Well, now a lot more has happened. Just a couple days ago, there was a huge article in New York Magazine about Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman allegations. Multiple women accuse Sandman author of sexual assault. And
Yikes.
it's not one, not two, I think 7 or 8 potential people have come forward. And they have interesting stories, to say the least. If I were to read you the full details of these things, you might be pretty disgusted. Also, YouTube might not like that very much.
Oh my
But
god!
let's just say it's
Did you
pretty
read
disgusting.
that?
It's pretty disgusting. Multiple people, including some people he met when they were 18 years old and he was like 60, all this stuff. And
Ew.
it gets to him forcing himself on them while they're in a bathtub, sticking fingers in places,
No,
making people lick things from the thing he just stuck in,
Ew.
all of this stuff. All right, don't want to get into too many of those gory details, specifically about what
Why did
he
you have
did.
to
But there's a
even
lot of it out there, and it
mention?
has been out there for quite some time. Now, Neil Gaiman has denied this. Well, he hasn't necessarily denied it, it's happened. He has denied that there was anything that was not consensual. And I do think that you do have to, if you're any of these women that are involved, because some of them, this went on over the course of weeks and months before they did anything about it, before they said anything about it, before they went to anyone about it.
Because they're
I do think you have to
scared.
take some accountability there and realize, hey, if I'm 18, if I'm a hot 18-year-old girl and some 60-year-old dude wants to spend time with me, it's not because he enjoys our fucking conversation.
No.
Now, that doesn't mean that these allegations are true, that Neil Gaiman was in the right to do any of these things. Certainly doesn't. But I do think that you have to be a little bit smarter about how you handle these things. For instance, his babysitter at the time said that she was taking a bath. He forced himself in the tub with her. He did.
Why is she taking a bath in his house? Does she have to? Can she go home, finish her job, and then take a bath?
Did things to her. And then afterwards, she continued to be his babysitter for a period of time. His wife, who's a fucking degenerate of her own, didn't have her back, didn't want to do anything about it. At that point, I would stop being a babysitter.
She knew?
With all that being said, fuck Neil Gaiman, okay? This is one of the dudes out there who has been propagating believe all women, you must believe all victims, all of this shit. He was one of these people. Self-proclaimed feminist, champion of diversity and wokeness and all these things. Yet these are the things he has in his closet. This is a post from, let's see, September 28th, 2018. What would Neil Gaiman do if he were presented with something like this? On a day like today, it's worth saying, I believe survivors. Men must not close our eyes and minds to what happens to women in this world. We must fight alongside them for them to be believed, at the ballot box and with art and by listening, and change this world for the better.
I bet he'd said that after. It's like, yeah, after a really wild night, if you know what I mean. The comment below it by PH Dog. Ain't you the guy who wrote that story where some guy had to R his muse to get his inspiration? And then Neil said, is that the way you read it? Interesting.
Wonder if he's still saying those things. It's weird how so often it turns out to be these male feminists, doesn't it? The ones
Yeah.
who proclaim, oh, you got to listen to all women, to believe all women, uplift women, protect women, while all this other shit is going on. Now, these are just allegations. He's vehemently denied that any of it was
Yeah, it's all
non-consensual.
still allegedly.
So we just got to
we
put that
shall
out there.
see.
I've been
But
hearing
keep
stuff
in
about
mind, even this allegedly, like a lot of times they get a settlement and then they're like, no, it didn't happen, whatever, you know, the victim just moved on with like no, they didn't just move on. You paid them, you know, and they would rather get the money than go through the whole hassle of going through the court and whatnot, so they go with the settlement. Yeah, I don't know. Does that make you guilty or not?
Neil Gaiman. I'm not even very well connected.
I would say yes.
Right? I've been hearing stuff about him for a couple of years as well. So none of this really is surprising to me at all in any way, shape, or form. But just look at some of these fucking replies, right? Ain't you the guy who wrote the story where some guy had to rape his muse to get his inspiration? Is that the way you read it? Interesting. Tell that to Hollywood. Why are you so black and white? Not how this works. Yes, men have been accused and found innocent. Do human beings lie? Yes. Do they do appalling things? Yes, absolutely. Do women suffer disproportionately? Talk to some women and listen to what they tell you. Your eyes may be opened. Right? As a filmmaker, department head of so many feature films, some terrific men have joined me in firing sexual predators. They've continued to be vigilant. Thank you for this. I'm glad to hear it.
Bro,
right? This Neil Gaiman saying believe all women, believe survivors, believe accusers, believe all these
so
things.
we're gonna follow
quite
your
frankly,
advice.
He is going to end up getting canceled
Completely
by the very people that he has appealed to, by the very people that he's in lockstep with.
I mean, well, you said he's 60. At this point, who cares? You know, the guy's already old.
He's
He
going to end
lived
up
a
getting
full
canceled
life.
for all this. Now, he's got a couple projects that are still in the works, including season 2 of Sandman on Netflix. First season didn't really go over well with a lot of people. Some criticisms of that show. And he said, who cares if they race swap? Who cares if they do this? Fuck you, you bigots. Wonder if he's going to be singing the same tune now. But Disney's already stopped production with something they had with him. I don't know exactly. He has something going on with Prime. I don't know if that's going to continue or not. I mean, J.K. Rowling is kind of shouting this to the rooftops. J.K. Rowling compares Neil Gaiman to Harvey Weinstein, noting the literary crowd was strangely muted about the Sandman creator. Yeah, it's weird how something like that works. Ultimately, if these accusations prove to be 100% false, then obviously Neil Gaiman off the hook for any of these things, other than just being an absolute fucking degenerate, right? An absolute fucking degenerate, as he's already admitted to when it comes to a lot of this stuff. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it does seem like there's a decent amount of credibility for some of these people. And Neil Gaiman himself has told people to believe all women. And when male feminists speak so loud, it's hard to think that they don't have something to hide.
Yeah. Not only male, I would say also female. Like, I would not put it on actual gender. I think whenever you are preaching something really loud, it's like you are hiding something, you know, or you're in some type of denial. It makes you feel better about who you are, you know, because at the end of the day, you are the opposite of that thing. So if you fool the crowd, you kind of fool yourself as well to believe that you are on the good side, which is a mental thing. It's weird. Also, all of this is allegedly, but he told us to believe all women. So if there were women who said that, then do we believe them? Do you believe them? Let me know in the comments.